The stories of regional collaboration, the power of intra-African trade, and the policy breakthroughs driving Africa's shared prosperity. This is Inspired Afrique on the Africa Trade Show, where continental unity meets innovation. Every week, we bring to you the stories of trade, collaboration, and the bold ideas transforming Africa's borderless dream into a reality. Today, we'll be discussing trade opportunities in Francophone Africa. And with us is Laissa Mouen, founder of Kinaya Ventures. Francophone Africa is often overlooked when it comes to trade deals. So what opportunities do you think that trade or investment players have missed, may have overlooked or may have missed when dealing with Francophone Africa?
Um, so there are many things that I can say about, Francophone Africa. That is I can say these are the best kept secret about Francophone Africa. They are overlooking agriculture and agritech. For example, in Senegal or in Côte d'Ivoire, there are many, agri businesses that are, and also agri-tech startups that are helping, farmers to connect to markets across borders and also tackle food security issue and also create regional value chains. We also have a digital and creative economy from Afrique, from uh, Abidjan's music scene to Dakar's fashion and tech scene. So Francophone Africa has exports to, that the rest of the continent as could consume. So that's what I can say about digital and creative economy. There's also climate tech with rising energy needs. There's a huge opportunity for clean energy and clean energy solutions that can scale regionally. So Francophone Africa, it's not a small market. We have more than 300 million people with culture, creativity, and also talent, young talent, and also commerce waiting to be unlocked.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a whole lot of things that a lot of investors and a lot of trade players are actually missing out um, on Francophone Africa. So one of the, will I say, the hurdles that they often cite is the language barrier. Do you think there's any way that that can be bridged? Do you think there's any way that maybe that could sort of bridge that language barrier gap between Anglophone countries, Francophone countries, and the trade players in Africa?
Okay, I think that more and more people based in Francophone Africa are bilingual. They speak both French and English. And I mean, within, the region, I think that there are some countries where that borders with Anglophone countries. Let's say the case of Senegal with the Gambia. We have the case of Guinea with Sierra Leone or Liberia. Yeah, and the case of Côte d'Ivoire with Ghana, and the case of Benin with Nigeria. And people, although they don't have, the same language, they trade. So I think that it's not about the language barrier per se, but maybe the knowledge, of these countries. I think that when people have interest to do business, they can they can go over this barrier, this language barrier.
Yes. So just like you said, when people want to actually do business, they can actually cross that hurdle. They can go over the language barrier, right? But do you think that Francophone Africa is actually positioning itself in a way that would attract this funding or trade deals or investment deals from the other parts of the continent? And how best do you think they could position
Mm,
themselves to actually get those deals?
mhm. This is a good question. I think that Francophone Africa, we also need to be more open, to their diversified partnerships. We tend to, connect with people that talk, speak the same languages, and beyond that, we also have these, we also have to cross this language barrier somehow, and also this issue of francophone and anglophone, yeah, somehow. I think that we are all, Africans, and we should start, seize the opportunities, around our countries, instead of trying to get, abroad and, let's say, overseas. Yeah. So it's a good point that you have raised. We also need to learn how to, to sell, to market our countries. I think that we have an example of in Côte d'Ivoire with an initiative called Sublime Côte d'Ivoire, where the Ivorian government tried to market, Côte d'Ivoire so that they could bring investors in Côte d'Ivoire. They even set up an office in London for doing so. So this is the kind of initiative we should, foster in order to market our countries well beyond our natural zone that is the UMOA. Yes, so we should be able, to multiply this kind of actions so that we can seize opportunities beyond our natural playground.
Okay, so in a truly borderless Africa, how would you say in a truly borderless Africa, how would you see Francophone Africa and Anglophone Africa actually trading, having this intra-African trade? How would you see, how best do you think they can actually trade?
So, we have some issues that we need to, to cross before, there's, the fragmented regulations. We have also high logistic costs and also the limited access to talent mobility. So I think that the cost of moving, goods and people across Africa is our real border. Yeah. And we need to cross these lines before, to see, the flow and all the potential of this intra-African trade. So it's very important to be, candid about these main barriers that we have, because I think that somehow when people from, for example, let's say Nigerian entrepreneurs are coming to Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire, the main issue that they face, I think it's the regulations, because regulations are quite different, and I think it's even beyond, beyond by language barriers, and also the cost of logistics. In fact, it's easier to trade between, let's say Dakar let's say Dakar and Paris, than sometimes to trade between Dakar and Lagos, you see, or Dakar and Nairobi. So this is, or even travel. I mean, even travel to travels in some countries, it's just a nightmare, within Africa. So we also need to find solution in order to be a borderless Africa. Um, and I think that for me, borderless Africa means an Africa, sorry, where entrepreneurs, goods, and ideas move, as freely from Dakar to Nairobi as they do from Paris to Berlin. Yeah. So yeah, borderless Africa is not a dream; it's an execution challenge for me.
Yeah, it's an execution challenge. I agree with you. And you talked about the policies and the regulations that are actually still hindering the, let's say, borderless intra-African trade within Africa, Francophone and Anglophone Africa. So, are there like, do you think, or what policy, let me put it that way, what policy would you say would best support this borderless African between Anglophone and Francophone Africa, or just within Africa itself? What policies would you say would be best suited for the real intra-African trade?
I think that the African, so in French we say ZLECAf, but it's African Free Continent
African Free Continental Trade Area, AfTA.
Trade, yeah, because AfCFTA, okay, it's because we have the same thing in ZLECAf. So the AfCFTA could be something that if it was, you know, because I know that there's already, the ZLECAf, the AfCFTA, but in a day-to-day, we are still struggling, even though there's the AfCFTA. We are still struggling, so it should be enforced, it should be more, widespread. And beyond that, we also can leverage on technology because I think that the technology is a great equalizer. We already have, some, for example, fintechs like Flutterwave or Wave that are solving cross-border payments. We have also the possibility through logistics startups to use AI to optimize delivery routes between, between cities and cities or countries. And we also need to have young Africans that are um, empowered so that they could be employed at a regional scale. So we need also to learn how to go beyond, these barriers. Sometimes it's just mental barriers because myself, as a person, I was born and raised in Paris, but I have my family is from both from Senegal and from Cameroon. I spent years in Côte d'Ivoire, so I know for sure that we can have also people that are prepared to work and at a regional scale.
Okay, thank you very much. That's really insightful. So let's talk about entrepreneurs that are building solutions. You talked about cross-border payments, for example. Entrepreneurs that are building solutions, how best do you think, or how would they position themselves to be able to enter the Francophone Africa? How do you think? What should they look out for?
Okay, to enter the Francophone Africa, it's all about, the people that you will work with. It's about, the talent. So they should have at first, try to set up their dream team, the team that will enable, to enter the market because I've also seen some companies trying to enter the Francophone Africa market and didn't succeed to do so. So it's all about you having, the right team in order to execute and to roll out your activities, in Francophone Africa. So it's first, talent, the team, then also the network, because beyond your team, you also have to develop your network, your relationship with some key players within the region, be it officials, but also some potential partners, private partners. Sometimes you can also leverage on the connection that your lawyers can have, in the region. So there are many ways to enter the market, but it's all about people.
Yes, it's all about people. Okay, so let's go to the investment part of it. So for investors that are looking to secure deals with startups that are in Francophone Africa, what do you think they are looking out for? I mean, what do you think these startups in Francophone Africa could do to better put themselves out for these investments to come in?
Speak English. Because we have this issue, we have it this, we are it's again and again we still saying to francophone entrepreneurs, you need to speaking, because it's crazy how those that are more familiar with Anglophone Africa, and even beyond with when they are more similar with the codes of the Silicon Valley, the kind of opportunities that they could leverage on. Why those that are not fluent in English, just limited to the region. So I think that first speak English, and then also be more familiar with the codes of Anglophone Africa, and also, yeah, and the codes of investment, be it venture capital or private equity.